6. As many of you, I have an image in my mind of a better world. I want to share my image with you. It was in 1978 I received a vision of planet Earth with a growing radius. The dream seemed to show me that our planet was expanding outward into near space. For many years I held that vision in my mind, incessantly thinking about it. It seemed that as far as I could tell, it was our answer to planetary resource exhaustion. I did what I could to make it a reality. My name is Larry Lee Slott. In 1979, I became a student of Buckminster Fuller. Later, I studied molecular biology and quantum physics at Michigan State University. I wanted to find mathematical answers to give to all the objections I had as to my vision's possibilities. I needed to know if I was wrong before I tried to explain it to anyone. Along the way, I invented the world's first genetic engineering home cloning kit. I also cloned the world's first polyphenolic surgical adhesive. From the blue mussel Mytilus edulis, I created the world's first building material that could replace steel-reinforced concrete. In 1987, some Massachusetts politicians extorted these DNA constructs from me and never returned them. Molecular biologists using the same new science available today that I used back then should be able to get these constructs back again. The building material I created was a type of mother of pearl. I called it kaolin, calcium carbonate protein. A gene from the muscle's mantle codes for the scleroprotein conchiolin. Kaolin was composed of this muscle protein, along with impregnated calcium carbonates and silicates from seawater. This material, when employed in a matrix of tetrahedrons, will be capable of constructing very large buildings of carbon sink subunits. My vision matured and became more comfortable in my mind. I looked closer at it. I saw that what made the Earth expand was an enveloping network of pearly white silken threads. The planet, our planet, was growing inexorably larger and healthier. Between these pearly white translucent strands, plush green grew. Animals of all types lived in vast sky jungles and wildernesses. Where there was no jungle, strange buildings existed within large tetrahedrons. Columns of 5 octahedrons and pentagonal stacks were ubiquitous. Each contained a series of these octahedrons, like discs, one on top of another. All the buildings were pearly white. I saw people entering and leaving them. I saw triangular ponds filled with fish and growing aquatic plants. These fish and vegetable-filled tetrahedral ponds existed all around the periphery of the stacks of octahedral-filled pentagonal buildings. As I looked closer, I saw huge metropolises of these pentagonal stacks of octahedrons all over the sky, like air bubbles dissolved in shaken water. From their characteristic glow, roofs on the upper and outer sides of these octahedrons seemed to be constructed of solar panels. Every stack was also replete with small windmills. Below the metropolises were trains speeding around the planet through huge rings. The trains all seemed to meet over the Canary Islands as if Tenerife was a grand central station. Tetrahedrons of smaller sizes than the great tetrahedrons of large piers covered the larger piers in places like roads. These tetrahedrons were arranged into ribbons of hexagons, like beta-pleated sheets. Strange vehicles traversed the networks of great tetrahedrons on the ribbons of fused tetrahedral roads of these honeycomb-like hexagons. The vehicles moving on these flat roads occasionally jump from one hexagonal road to another at the larger tetrahedral intersections. I was repetitively reminded of a beehive, teeming with little bee vehicles. The cumulative effect of all the movement of these trains, people, animals, and jumping vehicles made the entire structure seem to emit a low hum, vibrating musically. Far out, not yet on the periphery of the new biosphere expanding planet reticulum, I saw huge lakes, filling tetrahedral pools that appeared as the mamas of cumulonimbus thunderstorms. These lakes had tetrahedralized piers growing inside, below, and outside of them, thrusting ever outward and upward. Large tubes ran from the oceans on the planet's original surface to the near periphery series of large lakes. Tubes were fixed securely to the large tetrahedrons in the lakes. Other tubes descended from some of these large lakes and appeared to be bringing water down to the stacks of octahedrons below. Water wheels, like grain mill paddles, covered all the descending tubes like spindles. I'm not about to invoke religion or get mystical with you. Ancient wisdom is in order, however. We need to begin somewhere soon or we are lost. We must create a biosustainable Weltanschauung and smelt our current human values in its crucible. My bridges are the answer. They will do it. Please try to visualize my structure. In Proverbs 29:18, the Bible reads, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Until my next video, thank you for listening.